Yes, yes, yes. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Secrets of the Mind of a Man, where I talk about how men think when it comes to dating, relationships, and love. And we got a great topic today. I got a great guest who is just joining me, Sima, Coach Sima, we call her, and she does an amazing job, just drawn to the ladies. She helps the ladies to get in line and get what they want from their lives. And so,
Yes.
Sima, hello, welcome to the show.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for having me, Kel. You said Kel. It's okay to call
Yeah,
you
sure,
Kel.
sure.
So much for having me. I'm excited. This is a very good topic. As you know, posted it on my page and it went crazy one day. So I'm
Yeah.
glad. So I was like, yeah, let's get me on the show. Let's talk about it. So let's have some fun
Yes.
tonight.
Yes, yes. So, Tima, just so they kind of get a little reference of who you are and who you serve, tell the folks a little bit about what you do, and then we going to jump right into this topic tonight.
Absolutely, I will. Thank you so much, you guys. I am your favorite confidence, healing, and transformation coach. I focus on helping women basically heal themselves to abundance, whether that means materially, relationally, professionally, whatever it is. I feel like healing is the foundation to the glow up or the level up. Gotta get healed. It holds you back and it affects the way you see the world. So, I am specifically called to women, so I don't particularly to coach men, but I do have some men who have followed me faithfully, and sometimes they don't like what I have to say, but that's okay. It's okay. All in fun. We're here to learn, and we just want everybody to get along. That's my
Yes,
goal. Yes. So glad to
yes,
be here tonight.
yes, yes, yes. And you know what I've learned is that if you're in this thing to make everybody happy, you're
Right.
in the wrong business.
Very true. Very,
you
very, very true.
you cannot make everybody happy. Don't even try because it's not going to work out. It's not going to be the way you want it to be. But so you guys, let's get into it. Also, I want to let you guys know I got the TikTok audience. They're here rocking out with me on the side, and they're dropping questions. I invited them to go ahead and drop their questions. So I'm going to invite you guys to go ahead and drop your questions as well. So I see my girl T Marie is in the building.
Yeah.
She said, "Hey guys." All right.
Hello.
All right. Good stuff. So let's get into it tonight. Uh Sima, tonight I wanted to talk about this. I've been hearing more of these stories of women who have decided that, you know what, I'm done with this.
I'm done.
I have gone as far as I can go. I've done all I can do, and I need relief. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of this thing. And so, talk to us about just your overall thought on this topic of why women are leaving men.
Yes. So, the statistic is 70% of women actually file for divorce. And if they're educated, it goes up to a whopping 90%, which I was totally shocked. Like, we out here leaving y'all. So
Mm,
I think there's many reasons. But I think the biggest reason is we gotta remember we're in 2022, you guys. And a lot of people want to compare us to the relationships our grandparents had. Well, we got to remember that woman back there is a different woman today.
mm,
So I think most women are leaving one because they have more options. They have more
mm.
options.
Oh wow.
They have more options. So our grandmothers, they didn't know how to. Neither one of my grandmothers knew how to drive. Okay, one
Mhm.
is deceased, one's still living. She still don't drive. So, and I can't remember if they worked. I don't remember them going to a job. So today, women are working. They're educated. They're making their own money. All of my sisters, very close friends, are professional women
Mhm.
making six figures and above.
Mhm.
I mean, women just have more options, you guys. And so when things are not going right, instead of sticking and staying for long periods of time, they will exit. Now, what I can say about a woman, ladies, what I can say about us, We're not impulsive most cases. We
Hmm.
don't just jump up and leave. If
Hmm.
you see a woman who left,
Yeah.
that means it's been a couple of years that she's been contemplating whether sticking or staying. Trust me.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
need y'all to understand that too.
Yeah. That's definitely something that's got to be stated. We understand
Uh-huh.
that these things aren't decided overnight. They're
Right.
generally not taken lightly. It gets to a point that they had to make a decision on some things. But when I think about this topic, I see it from a different perspective, of course, because I talk to men.
And that's right.
Okay. And what I see a lot of times is that sometimes women don't really know how to communicate with the man. So
Right.
her "I had it up to here" is actually her being unable to communicate her like in the way that he can understand, and
Right.
she doesn't have to like blow her top all the time. Because listen, blowing your top does not work.
Does not work.
Yelling and screaming and all of this, it just does not work. And so I think what it comes down to is a communication issue. And somebody might say it's on the communicator to make sure that their message is clear
Clear. That's
to
true.
the communicated.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I would say that a lot of women don't really know what to communicate. That's why they don't communicate. A lot of us don't really know what we need, what we want. We think we know.
Mhm.
And I would venture to say most of what I found out about myself, as far as what I need as a woman, is after I left. So
Interesting.
that lets me know that while I was in the marriage, I didn't really fully understand what I needed.
Mhm.
And if I did, sometimes you're right, I did not communicate effectively. There may have been some nagging
Yeah.
and some screaming and
Yes.
some shutting down. You know how we do. You know how we
Yes.
do. And now I know for Sima who I am as a person, my love language, the things that really, really matter to me. But it took me a while to get that. So I
Mhm.
agree with you that the
Yeah.
person who is communicating is on the hook for the message.
Yes.
And the other person, you got to understand their perception is their reality. So that's
Yes.
why you got to make sure that message is
Yes.
precise for the audience,
Yeah. Yeah. I got a message for I'm going to check in. I'm going to be checking in on you guys on both sides here. I got somebody from the TikTok audience, Silky65, says, when I screamed, he was safe. When I got quiet, I was done.
Ooh.
She said 26 years trying was enough.
Enough. Now that is
Ooh-wee.
true about a woman. And you've heard that. You've seen that before. When a woman gets quiet, that's when you really need to worry. Because guess what? She on her way out.
Yes. Hello, Gwen, my girl Gwen over here on the TikTok. I'm on the Facebook side, and Inez, she said, yeah, that's true. They feeling it over here. My girl Michelle is here. Yes. Thank y'all so much for popping in. So I think this is a worthy conversation, right? Because with statistics like this, now you guys can read the statistics going across the screen right here. You can see, Inez, what's going on. Yes. From there was a social demographer at Stanford University. Women are this is his finding and statistics. Women are more likely to file for divorce than men in almost 70% of the cases. According to the National Center of Health Statistics, the number is more like 80%. Right. And so that number just speaks about women who just couldn't be heard. Right. And there's this thing that happens, before marriage, you get, girls read the stories. Y'all read the books, and Rapunzel, standing with her long, let down your hair. Right. You got Rapunzel. And look, Rapunzel is waiting on a man. Okay. She's waiting on a man, and she's letting down her hair for him to climb up there and come to her, right? Cinderella is also waiting on a man to come in and change her life forever.
That's right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so I think these messages get embedded in the ladies at a young age, that someone outside of themselves in the masculine form is coming to save you.
Rescue us.
Rescue you. Right? And look, for the boys, we didn't get any of that. You know, we didn't care. We were the prince who comes. Oh yeah, whatever. Like that. None of that really ever really mattered much to us. It was just like, when we got old enough, it was just like, get as many girls as you can. That is masculinity.
So
that's all that.
So y'all wasn't in the message. Just so while we were getting that message, y'all out playing with Tonka trucks and
correct
big wheel, trying to have a good time, and we over here being conditioned.
Correct.
Really what happened.
Correct. Right. Which at least you were conditioned, right? At least you were getting some kind of training. For us, we didn't get any training, except for when we got to be teenagers. The boys, our big brothers, or the cousins, or the uncles. Or the people, on the corner, they told us what to do and how to do it. So we just conferred with each other and went and did the one thing that they told us to do, which was get girls. They didn't say go rescue the princess. They didn't say go find Rapunzel and be her one and only man. None of that. Or to even be a husband or any of that sort of thing. So most men never got any training on this thing that they had to become good at, which is manhood and husbandry, for a lifetime with this woman who's been studying this thing for a long time. So no wonder there's so much disappointment and frustration in the end of it.
Very, very good point. Very good point. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. That is very true. I'm raising two boys, so I don't want them to go out in the world and think that, the thing to do is get as many girls you can. So we've been doing our work. So that's a very good point. That makes me feel good. I feel like I'm doing a little bit better than the last generation.
Listen, and you can do better because there's more focus on it now than it was in the 90s and in the 80s and in the 70s. We learned what we learned from the magazine that we found in the corner. On the street, and then when the porno flick came through and somebody's uncles or cousin had one, and they said, "Come in here and watch this.
Watch this, right?
This is what you're supposed to do." You know what I mean? What kind of training is that? Yeah. So look, don't worry about any of that, Sima, because now they got it on the phone.
I know now they got it on the phone. I know. Oh my gosh, not just the phone. I mean, my sons watch shows with me, and I'm like, close your eyes. And my friend said, "Girl, they can see that on Instagram." I don't even know why you talking about some closure.
Yes, it's a lot of booties on the sink.
Yes. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm not ready for that. I'm gonna have to reach out to all my brother coaches and whatever, because I'm not ready. But I know it's coming. Oh my gosh.
So you can imagine, like, by the time it's time to get married, it's time to come together and like actually have a family and decide that this one woman is going to be the one that I'm going to be with and develop a life with. A guy is starting from almost like he's starting from scratch, and trying to figure this out. And so, I got kind of a list. You could share another thought, and then I'll pull the list up, and I want to get your opinion on the list, and I want you guys' opinion. You guys are dropping comments on this. Feel free to drop comments on the YouTube side as well, and I'm going to try to read some of those off. So jump in, Sima.
I posted this on my page, you guys, so maybe a couple weeks ago, And another thing that came to light in the comments on my page was, and I was like, because that actually happened to me. Um, they said one of the reasons is because men live in denial, and a lot of times they don't want to make that step to sever the marriage, where a woman, like we just said, we will, put in our time, but eventually we start thinking about, do I want to stay or do I want to go? And if we think we want to go, we'll start making provisions, which is why I said we're not spontaneous. We don't do a spur of the moment, usually just jump up. There's been a lot of careful thought, and what about the kids? Where we're going to live? How I'm going to do this? We planned it out.
Yeah.
So on my page, they were talking about, because the men, they won't, usually they don't want to go file, because guess what they're thinking in their mind? If I go file, it's going to cost me.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm like, okay, I can see that. Yes.
Yeah. It costs. Yes. It's definitely, look, it's been such a big thing with that, that now there's the movements are out there. The guys talking about the red pill, these guys who have been divorced once or twice. They've been run through the court system, and let's be honest, the court system favors women. I mean, it's to protect women from men who decided to go get some cigarettes. Remember back in the 70s and 80s, people used to go. They say, "I'm going to go get some cigarettes,"
and they ain't come back.
Never come back. I'm going to go get a loaf of bread.
I'm going to get some bread. I mean, how many times have we heard that story? Like, what? Like, they never came back? No, they never came back.
Right. So the court system had to jump in and make sure that these ladies aren't left with 5 kids and no way to support them. And so, but now it's kind of like men are thinking like, well, wait a minute. If I get involved, if I pull the trigger on getting out of this relationship, it's going to cost me a lot. So they'll like decide that it's not worth it. And but you know what, Sima, another thing with that is that men decide it's not worth it also because they think the problems aren't that bad.
Yes, I just said denial. I'll give you a personal story. Is that okay?
Sure. Please.
When me and my ex-husband went to counseling, the same couple that did our counseling, the same couple that did our premarital counseling, they said it's like when you buy a car, you don't just drive off and never come back. You bring it back for your oil change. So that, we would go back and check in. So I had been talking to the wife of the couple, and her and I had been just talking. I said, well, I think we all need to get together, you and your husband and me and my husband. And she said to me, now, so that you won't be alarmed, because it happens all the time. She said, now, when we get in there, we're going to ask him, what does he see is the problems in the marriage? And watch him go, I don't see no problems. And she was like, so don't panic, because that's normal. We see it all the time. I'm like, what? Sure enough, we get in there, and she asked me, and I had my list. And this is, and he did it, and we don't do this, and we don't do that, right? And then they asked him, and he said, I don't see no problem. I thought we was doing pretty good. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
So it's true.
Yes. Angie on the TikTok says, she said, men don't understand our feelings sometimes.
Very true.
Very true. My girl LaDonna popped in. She said, you told me Prince Charming is not coming to save me? No.
He ain't coming, LaDonna.
He's not coming.
He is not.
Turn the light off. Go to bed. He's not coming. No, I'm not. Listen, LaDonna, I'm not going to break your heart and tell you he's not coming. I'll just say, it's just not likely.
It's not.
Not really likely. Isn't. My man Marv, my boy Marvin Byers just popped in. What's going on, good brother? Appreciate you coming over to the YouTube side to drop your comment. It said it is no incentive for modern women to stay married. They can change their minds and the men lose everything. Sima, what do you think about that?
I kind of agree with that. I just said modern women, they have their own money. Whereas back when my grandmother was living, she probably thought to herself, what am I going to do with all 13 of these kids?
Ooh, 13 kids.
13. What am I going to do with 13? What am I going to do with 10? They had large families back then. He's
Yeah.
the breadwinner. I mean, I literally stay home and take care of these babies. So yes, I'm being mentally abused. Yes, I know he has children,
Whole
outside
families.
a whole family. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, I saw her at the grocery store. What are you talking about? We talk to each other. Hey,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but where am I going to go? Like, I don't have,
Mm.
this is the only option I have. So
Yeah.
they would put up with it. So to answer Marvin's comment, I believe there is some truth in that, because women now, a modern woman particularly, she's got her degrees, she's got her money, she can buy her own, and so in her mind, she was like, listen here, I was doing this before you came. So, maybe we might have to take a step back, but
Yeah.
me and the kids will be just fine.
Yeah. 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 Yes. So I think, I mentioned something too. Brother Mar, appreciate you dropping that comment. And anybody else that wants your comment on the screen, come on over to the YouTube side. That helps out a lot. So listen, I was having this conversation and I was involved in this talk on this, and we were just talking about how women just really feel piled up. Like by the time a woman is deciding to get divorced, like she's really piled up, right? My man, what was that on? I think that was maybe on Steve Harvey. It had a situation where my man goes out to the club on Thursday nights with his buddies, and his woman don't go. She's like, he's always out at the club on Thursday night. And she said, they asked him and said, well, what does he do anything with you? She said, yeah, he'll go to Bible study with me on Wednesday night, but then he out at the club on Thursday night. Right. And so what I think Steve or somebody was just saying, like, you're going to have to give this man a break, right? Mm-hmm. He has to have something, have his time, right? And if you choose not to have your time, that's up to you.
That's up to you. Ooh, ladies, y'all better hear me when y'all tell you why he out on Thursday night, girl. As she talked to me, I'd have said, girl, when he out on Thursday night, go to Bible study on Wednesday. Get your Jesus in. But on Thursday night, when he go out, guess what? It's my night to go out with the girls. Babe, have a good time, boo. You too. Oh, man, we finna turn up. Bye. Listen,
yeah. That might
out. Hey, boo.
Yeah. He gonna shut all that down, and he won't be going nowhere on Thursday nights because he don't want you out on Thursday night.
Right. Listen, when we come out of the bedroom, he's like, "Oh, what you got on? What you got on? Hey, let's go, baby."
Love it.
But I agree with you, ladies. We do that a lot. We do that a lot. Men do need their time. So when you first said that, he go out on Thursday night, I'm like, good for him. Go ahead and turn up with your boys, But then when you choose to not have your moment, don't blame that on him.
Right.
That's you. You have your moment too. You have your moment.
Have it. And you can't expect him to pour all of his moments into you.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So check it out. You guys, I'm going to get to your questions. We got questions in the box on the TikTok side here, and we got some comments over here on the Facebook side, and looks like we got some comments on the YouTube side. Sheesh.
Oh, let's go.
Everybody loving this conversation, and I'm loving bringing it. So you guys,
she said everyone needs personal time. Absolutely, I fully agree with that. Yes,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. Let's get that. I got 5 reasons, you guys. And I want to hear your perspective on these 5 reasons why women seem to be leaving men in their lives. All right. So here it is. Number 1. And you guys tell me what y'all think about this. Most women no longer dream of being housewives. They want satisfying careers and marriages.
Yes.
Sima, what do you think about that?
I agree with it. And here is what I learned from James Penn. I don't even know if he's watching tonight, but James, you and your wife taught me this. Ladies, you got to be very, you got to decide and be confident in, do you want to be a traditional wife or do you want to be a modern wife? And you can't be up in there having both. Because that's what I used to do it too. Oh, I want to be modern, but I want him to pay them bills. Okay. So I called it a hybrid, right?
A hybrid.
Yeah, I called it a hybrid.
Okay.
But the thing about it is traditional and modern. Y'all got to remember, where do you fit? And so when you're out dating, that's a good question to kind of lead up to, what are you looking for?
Yes.
If he says he wants a traditional woman and you no longer dream of being a housewife, you want a satisfying career and a marriage/partnership, you need to be confident in that and stand in that. Don't go into that knowing he wants a traditional wife.
Yes.
It's not going to work. It's not fair to either one of you.
Right. Sima, I've been having conversations also with younger women, like women in their 20s coming out. And of course they're different. like they, these kids, they never had the internet, never been without the internet. Like these 20-year-olds and the 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds, these young women are career women. They think differently, right? And they have no interest in necessarily being a housewife because they want to go get it, right?
Absolutely.
This young woman told me on Saturday. She said, "I'm not looking to join onto a man's frame. If he wants to join my frame, if he wants to get involved, I'm not interested in helping a man build his business or being a partner in his thing. He can either go do his own thing, or he can be involved with my thing." But I'm doing me. And that's the perspective of a lot of the younger women. Right. And these are children born of the women's empowerment movement. Okay. And so yes, we tell our daughters, you do need to go get it. Right. It ain't going to come to you. and you can't rely on the fact that John from around the corner is going to come and marry you the way your grandpa did and your grandma. Like in the little dirt road town that they lived in, they walked a mile to school, and it was a no-brainer to get married, right? But now you have access to people all over the world, and so it's a different way of thinking that brings that about. So what do you think about that?
I had the privilege of mentoring a group of young ladies, 13 of them, from the 6th grade to the 12th grade.
Okay.
And myself being more mature, not gonna give away my age, but more mature. I would try to teach them, like, when you go out, let him open the door and let him pay. And they would say, I don't need him to pay for me, Sima. Why you got to pay for me? And I'm like, why wouldn't you want to pay for you? So at that moment, I realized, wow, they think just totally different. So I'm raising boys, I'm raising boys. So what I've taught my boys is that I still teach them to, as a gentleman, they pay and so forth. But I always tell them, if the Lord gives you a woman who financially can meet you, that's extra. That's like the extra icing on the cake, right? And move accordingly. But so that's how I'm teaching my sons, so that if they choose to go traditional route or the modern, they will be able to move. That's how I'm teaching them. But yes, those young ladies taught me, they think a whole different way. Now, I personally don't agree with the young lady who said he need to get on my frame. No, I agree that when a woman marries a man, she is his suitable helpmeet, which means if he needs help, I'm available. But I got my own thing too.
Got your own thing too.
Let's help each other.
Yes. Yes. Lizzie over here says women just have a different mindset today.
Yep. Very
true. All right. My girl Becoming High Value says being a housewife is not very healthy for relationships, in my opinion. I disagree with that. I think that it's a beautiful experience if a woman wants to be able to just create a home for her children and a soft place to land for her husband. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I don't think that it should be demonized or looked down upon as something less. I think it's a beautiful thing if you can make that work.
Yep, I think I agree too. I think it's a beautiful thing. I'll be honest with you. When I had my children, they're 20 months apart. Man, I wish I could have just stayed home because, listen, going to work and I used to have to go in the closet and pump and then go back to my desk. It was a lot. So I would have liked to have been able to do it at least for the first 5 years.
Yes.
But we couldn't because I was a breadwinner. Okay, I want the ladies out there to hear it. We couldn't because I was the breadwinner. So as a mother, y'all know when you had children, I don't care how PhD, whatever, when you had them babies, there is a level of guilt that you feel going back to work so quick after having your babies. And I think the husbands and the partners, please try to understand that because, a lot of times we are conflicted. We're conflicted. So I agree with you. I think, traditional family is great.
Yes.
I think we really need more of it in our Black community. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we get back to that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Look, Sima, when you think about it, you're spending the majority of your time either at work or coming home from work or getting, you know what I mean? And so if you're actually at home paying close attention to these kids, like you can form their mindset and their way of thinking, their whole worldview comes from you. And that being there, I think is so important. And I bet you I'm not the history guy who can follow this all the way down, but I bet you if you follow it all the way down, that point when moms went to work and there's nobody back at the house to make sure that things are together with those kids, I bet you that was the shift in our society that probably has gotten us, some of the challenges that we face today. So
I agree. And a lot of the women don't like when I say that, but it's just foundational. It goes back to the blueprint. For those of you who are Christians, that's originally how the blueprint was set up.
Yeah.
But I want to say this when this topic. So this was another one that blew me away. Okay. And I read this book called When She Makes More. Okay.
When She Makes More.
When She Makes More. And it has a dollar bill on the front of the book.
Okay.
And I forget the young lady, but she does a lot of financial segments on the Today Show. But anyway, in the book, she talks about even though women are going to work, they still 8 out of 10 women are still doing most of the household, chores and, the kids' homework, getting the baths and all that. So you're kind of like a modern woman plus a traditional woman.
Yes.
So again, men, that's where the men come in. If you got a modern woman, then that means you're going to have to be modern. You need to help.
True.
Women, like you said, what did you say a few minutes ago? Women are just piled up. That's
piled up. And
that's the piling.
But Sima, you know what? And that's the piling, right? And so when you don't get the help that you wanted, you don't get the recognition you wanted, you don't get the recognition. You just don't get any of that. You just don't get the appreciation, gratefulness, any of that. Gratefulness, any of that. You know what you do? You know what? I don't have to take this.
I don't have to take it.
I don't have to take it.
I'm doing it all anyway.
I'm doing it all anyway.
And we're gonna be just fine. Bye.
Right. As opposed to stepping back and saying, wait a minute. Do the clothes have to be folded right now?
Yep.
Does the shopping have to be done today?
Yep.
Right. So I think some of this piling up is a woman's own doing that causes her to bubble over, and to get rid of him is going to make things better. But the question is, is it actually making things better?
Nope.
Sima, that's the part that people not talk about. They don't talk about. They talk about like, I'm free. No, you're free to carry all of it.
All of the load. Listen, over here you had an opportunity, like the point you brought up at the top of this was amazing, and it's still circling around in my brain when you talked about in that situation, and she may have tried this. So that's why I never judge anybody's decision, because we don't know how much work they tried to do. Okay. So could it be a situation where you said a communication? Okay, listen, I'm about to have a nervous breakdown because I can't get all this done. I'm working, you're working, but when we get home, I need your help. And I feel like a husband that really loves his wife and sees that she's overwhelmed will step in sometimes, because I think what happens is it goes back to that conditioning. We do it all, Kel, because we've been conditioned that we're supposed to. And not realizing, girlfriend, you working too.
yes. And look, and from the man's side, I can tell you, we don't want to see you all stressed out. We don't want to see you all burdened down. We don't want to see you all tired and exhausted at the end of the night, because we're gonna want some sex. Okay. And you don't want to give us no sex when you are tired and exhausted and you know, beat down, right? So there's a lady who's saying, so why don't y'all jump in and do something? And she's right? So here's, ladies, check this out. Here's how you do that. Here's how you do that.
I was just gonna say, tell them how to do it.
Here's how you do it, right? If you got boys, boys and men are basically the same in this respect. Okay. Boys and men are the same. There's two things that men, I know this is a hot topic and everybody's talking.
I'm like, ooh.
Look, so for men and boys, here's what you do.
Okay.
Give them a list. Men are achievement driven. So if you give a man a list, even your sons, your boys, right? If you're going away out of town, you're going somewhere, I got to take care of this, I'm gonna be gone all day. Here's what I need done before I get home.
It works over here with the little one.
B, and C. And you over there, I need you to do E, F, and G, right? And so for men, for guys, for boys, we feel better when we can say, check, done, check, done, check, done. And so now you're going to be happy because you got whatever it was that you needed done. And we're going to be happy because you're going to leave us alone so we can keep doing the thing that we really want to do. But if you all you say is, I'm tired, I'm sick of y'all, I'm tired, and why won't you? Don't you see the trash need to go out? Don't you see it piling up? What are you trying to do in this experiment? all this stuff y'all say. Yeah, we saw it, but we didn't feel any urgency, right?
Right.
So being specific on the chart, I used to do when I did in-home counseling, it was always with moms and sons, and there was always I would always give like behavior charts, right? Things that people could just check off, done. So at the end of the week, the mom would be able to literally go to the refrigerator, look on the refrigerator, and see how well son did this week.
Yep.
Because it was specifically noted that he had achieved this much. So she couldn't come up and say, you don't never do nothing. You never. And by the way, the words never and always and are always wrong. You're always wrong when you say it. Okay.
Yep.
But those checklists really worked, and giving them an A option and a B option. Do you want to do the kitchen or the living room. Which one you want to do?
Mhm.
Giving an A and a B option is always a good, rather than sometimes saying, go clean the kitchen. You give them an option of either clean the kitchen or clean the living room. Which one
Right.
you want to do, you know?
Now the
So,
checklists do work. I use that with my sons. By the way, for those of you came in, I have teenagers. One's 13, one's 14. He'll be 15 next month. And I
mhm,
do that. So
mhm,
they go to their dads for the week. And when
mhm.
they come back, I might have a little note taped on their little door or
Okay.
laying on the bed. And they come
Okay.
in and they be like, oh Lord. And they say, okay, well, mama won't. Then it's a competition. See, okay, let me get mine done
Ah,
first. I got
nice.
mine done first, mom. I got mine. And so my son takes out the trash on Monday nights. And so at first I was like fussing, why y'all didn't get the trash? So then what I did was I put it on their phone, little
Mm,
thing, and it pops up trash. So when we eating dinner, I said, don't forget tonight it's trash and
trash day.
recycle mine. So
Yeah.
it's your turn. And then they go do it. So that is absolutely true. I'm gonna have to get me some more lists because
Yes. Uh,
I
um,
didn't realize you just said that like,
yes, it works.
that
It
does
works.
work.
And I like what you said, like, because before we had to put it on the refrigerator where we knew they would see it, right? And you
Uh-huh.
could, and you still can. You can get the behavior charts from like from the dollar store, I think, where it got them from, or something like that. You can order them.
Uh-huh.
But in addition, if you need reinforcements, that's good. But they got them phones in their hands,
Oh,
so they get that reminder, and that
I put it
helps.
in their phone because they were like, we forgot. And so I would be the one rushing when I saw the trash man coming, running out to put it out, And
Yes,
then I had an
yes.
attitude and I'd be texting them at school, you left that trash, you
Uh-huh.
know, I'm going to take your allowance or whatever. So
Uh,
so you're right. List and competition. If you have boys, more than one, oh, they
yes.
like to compete.
You'd love to
So
compete. So
yes.
so my boy Marvin Byers got a question for you, Sima.
Okay.
Go ahead, read that question and answer.
All right. It says, do you feel or believe that there will be quality women for her sons to marry when they're, you know what? Very good question. I worry. I'll be quite honest. I worry. I'm going to be really, 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 really honest. I've been asked that question by several men, both traditional and modern, who I've, partnered up with to do some things. And I am very, very concerned. I really am. I go to the schools with my sons, and my son's like, Mom, fix your face. Because I'm looking around like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
did she come to
Yes.
school like that? He was like, Mom, they do that every day. And
Every
I'm just
day.
like,
Every
and
day.
so to answer your question, sir, yes, I am very, very concerned to the point that I've already begun to pray for my sons and their wives that they will make a great decision, and whomever they choose, I've even asked the Lord to allow her to be like a daughter to me. So
Mm.
but yes, I'm putting, the only thing I can do is put Jesus on it. That's all I can do.
All
But
right.
it's looking slim right now.
Yes, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
It's gonna be
tough.
tough.
Angie says on the TikTok, Angie says, I'll number the importance of the tasks. So
Ah,
that's an idea
that's an
for,
idea.
for some of you
Ooh,
guys. And listen, what we talking about that's good for her boys, this is good for grown men too.
yes.
But generally, just mentioning the task and having him something that he can refer back to will definitely help. So let me grab a couple of these questions, these comments and things on the Facebook side, and then we're going to get back to this to our numbered.
Lady Chanel Renee has one. Green
Go ahead.
light. But those of you who don't know, green light, I have that for my sons. This is for the boys. Green light is a card they use before they can get their own debit cards in their bank account. But I didn't know it had a good option on there to allow them to earn their allowances. Thank you so very much.
Oh, very
I'm going to look
nice.
into that. Very
Nice.
good. See, y'all, we got resources. We just got to tap in.
Yes, we got to have the conversation that brings up the resource.
That's right.
Yes. My boy James Bush is in the building. The therapist, the black male therapist, is in the building. He said, "Yes, I'm here for the conversation." He's a solid brother.
Yes, awesome. So he's a therapist because
Yes, yep, he's a black male therapist.
I have men that reach out to me sometimes and they're looking for a black male therapist. So
Yeah,
let's connect, Mr. Bush.
Yes. He said, amen, Kelvin. At least the guest is honest. The genie is out of the bottle. World War II is when the shift began to happen. World War II, he says, is when the shift began to happen of women going out, not being at home, and
Right.
the stuff happening at home. So this is good
Mhm.
stuff. Let me jump on. Let me get back to my list.
Okay.
And you guys can share. Let me know what you guys think of this topic right here. This is the second reason that women are leaving men. Tell me if you guys agree. Women look forward to true equity of the sexes. Men look backwards to the golden age of marriage. What do
I
you think
don't
about
know.
that?
Um, I think it has some truth in it, but I think this one you're gonna be really, really divided because you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have a group of women that are looking for equality, but there's a group of women. There's some women who like we're inequality, but I wish we could go back.
Yeah.
And then the men are the same way. There are some men who wish we could go back, and there's some men like, no, I'm 50-50. Bring your
Mm-hmm.
50-50. So I
Mm-hmm.
think you're gonna kind of be maybe 50-50, 60-40 somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. And LaDonna, thank you so much for dropping that book. When
Yep.
She Makes More, the book that
Yes.
Sima was referring to. Good job on
Yep.
that.
For
Yes.
Nusha
Yeah.
Rabi. Yes, that's her.
Good stuff.
Excellent book for the ladies who are modern women who make, pretty good. And you're going to be the breadwinner, which obviously could happen.
Could happen.
50, 20 years ago, we might not be talking about this as much, but
Mm-hmm.
listen, you need to know it could be a possibility. And in that book, she talks about lots of ways that you can help protect his ego, his masculinity, and everything while you're the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I don't know that I fully agree with this statement. Women look forward to true equity of the sexes.
Mm-hmm.
I think women had an idea of what the future would hold and how things would go. And how men would change and become more of what she wanted him to be. And men have the I'll agree with this part, the backwards thinking of the golden age of marriage when women were a certain way and he'd like her to kind of remain in that way. So they always say women want the man to change and the men want the woman to never change. he wants you to be exactly how you were when I met you, when I asked to marry you. And the woman wants you to be better. She want to fix your wardrobe. She wants you to be just overall better going forward. So
Right. She comes in to upgrade you. That's what the song says.
upgrade you. All right, let me keep this pushing. We got plenty of comments here for us to jump in on. But
Okay.
the third reason in this study that women are leaving men, women are less willing to accept unhappy relationships than men.
Bingo.
Sima, what do you think of that?
I 100% agree. It goes back to my comment at the top. Um, and we said it. I think men will stay, even though they might not be happy themselves, but they will stay because they know if they start the divorce proceedings or the process, man, it's gonna cost me. So that saying, it's cheaper to keep her. Trust me, a lot of men still think that way. I think the women have gotten to the point where, look at social media. Don't y'all see it? Women like, girl, because I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm glowing
doing me.
up. I'm doing this. And, we out here having divorce parties and stuff. So, where they got the thing in your front yard, happily divorced. I'm like, oh my God. So yes, I would agree with this one. Wrong or right, I agree with it.
James Bush, he had a post up that was talking about that today, and he's got a great question there. Sima, I'm gonna let you grab that when he when I'm done with this. But
Okay.
that the whole somebody said it to me this weekend. The old adage, "Happy wife, happy life," and
Uh-huh.
they were like, "You agree with that, don't you? All you got to do is have a happy wife, and you'll have a happy life. You agree, right?" And I was like, "No,
No.
absolutely not." Because I know a lot of happy wives with unhappy husbands.
Me too. Yep.
She is just as happy as she can be, and he is just as unhappy as he can be.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's yeah. I don't, being a healing coach, well, I coach women, but
Mm-hmm.
still healing is healing for
Mm-hmm.
men or women.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair to say a happy wife means a happy life. How about everybody be happy?
Yeah.
Can this be our goal? The children, just everybody be happy. I think that's the ultimate goal. And it shouldn't be at the expense of anyone. So
Right.
if your happiness is at the expense of your spouse's unhappiness, that's not real happiness.
Nope. I liked it. I like it better with happy spouse, happy house.
That's right. Happy spouse, happy house. Let's all be happy.
Let's all be happy. Yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah. Lady Chanel jumped in and just said it too. Happy spouse, happy
Spouse,
house.
happy
It
house.
works.
That's it.
It
So let's
works.
change our vernacular, because it does condition us. Happy spouse, happy house. Yes.
Yes. I'm noticing a little bit of a lean on some of these questions. These questions on these statements are women favored. There's something about these questions, these statements that are being made that are women kind of biased towards women a little bit. I taste a little woman bias in these statements. But number 4, the fourth reason that they say that women are leaving men is men often believe they have more to lose in a divorce than women.
Yes. Fact. We already talked about that, but
We already
yes.
talked about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And number 5, women are much more aware of emotional health of their marriages than men. Do you agree with that?
I do agree. I said something about this earlier. I think yes, because women are emotional beings, we can feel the temperature in the house. We
Mm-hmm.
feel it, and if it's not right, we also are more agitated by it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the men, when the kids get to acting up, the women are, aren't you gonna do something about these kids? And the husband is like, what? They'll be fine. They'll be fine. So
Right.
I think because we're emotional beings, and this is part of how God created us, we do feel the energy, the temperature in the home when the emotional health is not up to par for anybody, the
Mm-hmm.
kids,
Yeah.
ourselves, our husband,
Yeah.
in-laws living with us, all of that. And so I kind of think that's where the happy wife,
Yeah.
happy life thing came
Mm-hmm.
from.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I agree. We are much more aware of the emotional health of the marriages. I wouldn't say we are particularly versed on how to communicate what we're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes we do communicate it and we don't feel like we are heard.
Not feeling heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And for us, yes, we want to make you happy. A man, listen to this. A man is not even a good lover unless his woman says so. So we want to make you happy. It makes
Wow.
us feel masculine. It makes us feel like a man when we're able to make you happy. I don't know one man who's in a relationship who wants an unhappy woman, right? But sometimes we don't always know how to make you happy. Even if you say, well, this gonna make me happy, and that's gonna make me happy, and this gonna, okay, you got 52 things that's gonna make you happy. Pick 3.
Pick 3.
Pick 3.
And probably what has happened is She said that would make her happy, and he did it,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't help it.
And it didn't help.
So he's like, well, listen, she said she wanted to go to daggone, Brazil. I took her to Brazil. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we came back. Oh, here we back again. Okay. Then she said, she want this. She want a Louis Vuitton. So I got her that for Mother's Day. And then she said, so goes back to what I said, Troy. A lot of women, we know something is off, but we don't know exactly what it is. And so that means we don't know how to tell you what it is. A woman who has healed might say, baby, it's not you. Right now, I'm feeling a little off because I don't feel appreciated at work.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then I just, or I feel overwhelmed at work, or, I feel like it's too much going on. And then I come home and I got all of this and it doesn't add. So and he might say, what can I do to help? Men are fixers.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you say you have a problem, he's ready to go find a solution.
Let's go.
Let's get the solution so we can be done with this and move on.
Right.
And the thing about it is, the woman is saying, well, I kind of really just told you that, but that ain't really what I need, because she doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
Right. She doesn't know. Yeah, ladies, that's why you got to work on, when you're feeling like that, find out, is this me or is this us? Okay. Is this because I'm an emotional being?
I bet you some of them 70% and some of them 80%, it wasn't necessarily him.
Is this me or is this us? Because you got to remember, you're an emotional being. So you're going to pick up the temperature. Everything at work, you're going to pick it up at church. You're going to pick it up with the kids. Your girlfriend's drama that you listening to on the phone. You're going to pick up this. You're going to watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and you're going to pick up that. And men don't do that. We pick this up. So you got to really look and say, okay, is this me? Am I really kind of going through something? And because I know he's going to love me anyway, I take it out on him. Or is this really something that's wrong, that's going on with us?
Yeah. So
it goes back to your original point. Communication, y'all. We've got to learn how to communicate.
Sima, so my boy James Bush, he's over there. He said something a long time ago, and I never forgot it. He said, people are throwing away houses because they have a broken mirror.
Right. Yes.
They walking away from a house with all these rooms and kitchens and bathrooms and all this, living rooms and fireplace and all of this, but they walking out of it because they got broken mirrors.
That's right. And over here on Facebook, he said couples fight each other rather than the problem. Wow. So this is a good place for me to put, that I officiate weddings.
Okay.
So one of the things that I talk about as I'm officiating weddings, I say there are called the 4 F's. There are 4 things that's coming for your marriage. Just telling you straight up, it's coming. That's why y'all got to be together. Y'all got to come together and understand this is what we up against.
Okay, lay it out.
4 things. Number 1, family. 2, your flesh. Number 3, your finances. And the 4th one is your friends. Remember that lady talking about when he go out with his friends on Thursday night? I bet you his friends that he go out with, they ain't got nothing to do with, but she mad at them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it's your finances.
Okay.
Flesh. Friends and your family.
And family. Y'all got that?
Y'all got it?
Come on. Look. If y'all feeling that, I need to see some hearts come up. I need to see y'all tapping some thumbs up. If y'all appreciating what you're hearing right here, I need y'all to hit that share button. Come on, we need to get some response from here.
Over here.
Drop some hearts, y'all drop some roses, drop some gifts. Yes. Sima, that's some good stuff right there.
And listen, all 4 of them can be fixed. That's the other F. All 4 can be fixed. Even the flesh.
Even the flesh.
One of the things that I coach women, y'all, so I'm just telling you what they tell me. Porn is one of those things that a lot of women face, and men, because there are some women addicted to porn too. That's in the flesh category. Listen, it can be fixed. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like any other addiction. If you want to go and receive help, there's resources to help. It can be fixed, and it can bring you and your wife back together in the bedroom. All of that. Family just got to have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Our family's off limit, and y'all don't come in here. Okay. Just that, but we both got to be on the same page. Your friends got to have boundaries. Okay. And your finances, same thing. We just got to we got to sit down and communicate. What's our plan? What's, me and my ex-husband, we used to have our savings account, and we said, okay, if anything over 100, or whatever your number is, it's not getting permission. It's just saying, hey, I'm going to buy me a $500, whatever. Okay, babe, just letting you know. That was just the rule to make sure that everybody's in the know. Communication is the thing. So those are the 4 F's that I talk about.
Well said. Well said. And look, you can handle the people over there on the Facebook side. It's too much. I can't handle all these.
Say all 4 of them can be fixed. They absolutely can.
Yes. All right. So let me get to, we got some questions, and you guys, if you got some questions, y'all want to drop it in the comment section. Loving this conversation right here. If you want to drop your questions and you want them to come up on the screen, you got to drop them in on either the Love Coach Atlanta Facebook page, or come to the YouTube page and drop your comment. But I'm gonna grab some of these Q&As. We got Q&As. We got comments. People ask questions, and some of these people have been waiting a long time with their question.
Okay.
All right, stand together. Let me see if I can grab a good one. This isn't actually on the topic particularly, but I'm gonna just throw it out here to you anyway, just to get your thought on it. A guy comes back after a year. Is he serious or not? Comes back after a year.
He comes back after a year, which means they tried to get together. He left. He comes back after a year. I would just say be very careful about that. And I hate to put people in. This question came up in another chat I did with one night with the ladies, and you got to be real careful, because the person may not have the right motives. Probably in a year, probably not. But ladies, you're gonna have to really be able. Y'all got to get y'all's what can I call it, Kel? You got to get your spidey senses up.
Yes.
Y'all got to get your spidey senses up. You got to be able to read between the lines. You got to learn how to ask good questions. Men don't particularly like direct questions, but you can still get your answer by asking a question around the question. Hey, I had to teach y'all that another time. But yes, you got to ask the right questions to get the answers that you need.
All right.
But if he comes back after a year, take it slow and watch motives.
Good answer. Good answer.
Discernment.
So Angie's got a question over here. She said, "You think special needs persons should marry?"
Special needs.
Isn't that a question?
That is a really. Of course, they should marry. They should have the option to marry too. Absolutely.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
If they're special, depending on what their special need is, I'm suggesting, just like I suggest to everybody, get some premarital counseling, because you need to make sure that everybody understands what the roles are going to be, so that if everybody has an understanding, you cut down on misunderstandings.
Very true. And we need better premarital counselors, because no more surface questions. Okay. We need to ask real questions, get down to real concerns, real life. Okay.
Yes. When I look, when I was getting married, most of the premarital counseling was like, let's talk about the wedding. Who's doing what at the wedding? And it's like, Well, there's going to be more after the wedding. There's a life that we got to build
That's
after
a
the
whole
wedding.
life. Yes. Didn't
Yes.
nobody ask, like you said, what are the roles? What are your expectations? Because the number one cause of divorce is unmet expectations, whether it was finances, sex, whatever, whatever. Um, Unmet. Somewhere along the line, you expected your spouse to do A and they did
Yes.
B, and now you're upset.
Now you have
So
to
we've got to lay these things out. Why do we not talk about this before? We
mm,
just think you're gonna get married
work
and
yourself out.
yes.
Yeah.
Come on, we got to talk about what's your role? What's my role? What is your expectation of me as your wife?
Hmm.
Would you like for me to stay home? These conversations need to be, we need to have those before we get up there with our white dress.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of these conversations, and listen, this is the reason I believe in premarital counseling, is that you need a third party who will
Absolutely.
sit
Yeah.
down with you and ask you some of those uncomfortable questions that we won't even you're afraid to even bring up because the person you might scare the person away or whatever. Sometimes you're not even thinking, like when you're in the cloud of love, when you're in the cloud of love and all I can do is think of you. All I do
Get
is think
this
of you day
day
and night.
and night.
Yeah. Right. When
Well,
that's
I
happening, you're not asking
you're not thinking.
the
That's
question.
right.
You're not asking, what did your grandma pass away of?
Right.
What kind
Yes.
of do you have mental health issues that run through your family?
Family. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
what all those important kind of questions that people just cloud love away, and then one day they end up being a topic of discussion. And
Right. And after this point, you're married now. So
yeah,
then
now
you're
you
like, why
married
you
now.
didn't tell me? Well, we didn't talk about it.
Right, right. So
So
yeah, I really believe that you need a counselor or a coach, somebody to check off to say yes before you say yes. I do.
right,
Before you say
right,
I do, the counselor need to say she does or he
right.
does. He
So
will.
I have some counselor friends from a coach perspective and licensed, counselors and mental health providers. And
Yes.
I asked the question, I said, have you guys ever done premarital counseling for a couple and really thought, man, this is not going to work? And did you tell them? And so the people outside of being licensed said, I sure did in a roundabout way. But when you're licensed, I think there's some ethics and things like that you have to follow that you might not be able to come out and say, listen, y'all shouldn't get married.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You probably need to take one more year to get to know each other first. That's my recommendation.
Yeah.
But
Listen. I'm a witness to the power of premarital counseling. I was getting ready to marry this other girl from Washington D.C. And we went and sat down with her pastor. Her pastor did the premarital counseling, and he did look, it was a 6-month course. It was a six
yes,
month course with a book this thick. And we had assignments we had to do, and we had to have them all done, and they were like think they were really about introspection about who we were,
that's it. Yes.
right? And then so we had to compare who we were to who they are, and just seeing if this makes sense for us to be together.
And you
Sima.
found out you were not aligned with her.
Sima. Sima.
Thank God for them.
Three sessions. We never made it to number 4. 3 sessions, and we were like,
Well, guess what? It did what it was supposed to do.
did what it's supposed to do. Thank God Almighty.
I like
'Cause
Maribel Stokes' comment right here.
Mhm.
She said this should take place when the courting is still being done. I agree with her. We've got to get people to move towards that, Miss Maribel, because a lot of people say premarital counseling, they usually do that when they're planning the wedding. But you are exactly right. I think there should be some couples counseling. it's like we don't wait for the problem to show up. Let's be proactive and go in and just do this before we spend 5 and 6, 7, 10 years with each other. And then come to find out we're not really aligned with each other. You're going 220 north and I'm going 220 south.
Yeah.
I mean, can we do this early, y'all?
Yes. Yes. My girl B from Chicago, she said most men will tell us women mostly everything if women would just listen.
That and don't use it against them. Now, I have been, I personally, I can just only talk about me, you guys. I've done a whole lot of healing work. So, hey, listen, I'm going to beat the devil to it. So I personally, was not a good landing place for my ex-husband. I don't believe, because I don't know. I don't think he could trust me with some very, just very difficult things to say. I don't know if that was because of maybe something that happened in his past or whatever, but I also believe that I did not position myself, to be a safe place. So a lot of probably what he wanted to tell me, I didn't have his heart completely yet. And when men tell you their secrets, ladies, that means you have his heart. So
true.
If he ain't telling you his secrets, boo, then that lets you know something ain't right. There's a disconnect there. But again, guess what we said? It can be fixed.
It can be fixed.
It can be fixed. Yes.
And you know what? It can be fixed. But you have to know there's a problem in order to fix a problem.
Right.
Well said. Sparkle Long over here says it took 26 years before I got the courage to leave. We had very little in common.
Wow. I've seen that a lot too. And I think a lot, you're talking about the young ladies in, the 20s. They saw that a lot too with their aunties, their grandma, their moms, their older sisters. And they're like, I ain't going through that. So yeah, we've seen it a lot too. I think that's just hoping and praying that it's going to get better. And as he said, you got to have two people. I remember going to therapy just myself, and we worked on me for 6 months. And then she said, it's time for, now that we've worked through your things, it's time for us to bring, your husband in so we can start working on the issues in the marriage. But it was a no-go. No, not going. I'm never going. So at that point, she was like, I mean, you can stay with me. I think you've made great accomplishments in your healing journey. But at this point, really to get down to the bottom of what's going on in the marriage, we need both people. So.
Wow. Yeah. Good stuff. We got a couple more questions, and you guys on the TikTok side, if you got some more questions, go ahead and drop them in the Q&A box, as well on the YouTube side. Drop your comment down below, and we'll definitely see if we can address that.
James Bush says a lot of the time the wedding is set before the premarital counseling. Right? They got their wedding set, the date, the attire, and who coming and everything. Oh, I guess we better get some premarital counseling.
Yeah. It's a formality.
Yeah, the pastor won't marry us without it. Okay.
Right. My girl Brandy, Dr. Brandy's in the building. Hey, Brandy, thank you so much for popping in.
But I like that. Somebody says Creflo Dollar has a book for singles called 100 Questions. Ooh.
Okay.
I want that. I love to look at the questions and how you can ask a question. I am great at asking questions when I want to know something, but not necessarily, depending on who the person is, not necessarily coming right out, but still getting the information that I need. Might take 2 questions, but I can get it.
All right. Good stuff. All right. Whoever decided, Marcus says, whoever decided both parties must stay accountable to and for seeing it through.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you know, listen, it really, he said it's cheaper to keep her. Um, if it's peaceful and if it's right, it really is. It's therapy and counseling is cheaper than getting divorced.
Of course,
You know,
absolutely. It's cheaper financially, emotionally, you guys, everything. I always tell people divorce, you know, don't let everybody on social media make you feel like it's all this and all that. Trust me, been there, done it. And the only way I can have you envision it is when you get married, it's like taking two pieces of paper and glue them together. Okay.
mm,
Basically, that's what it says. Now rip the paper apart. This person might take 3/4 of the paper. This person might get a little piece. That's how some of the men felt. They just got a piece. You don't know who's gonna get what when you rip that bad boy. And it hurts because somebody might get a little piece. And the other person got their whole paper and 3/4 of mine.
yes,
So divorce is not to be played with. It's nothing. It's, you know, people who say, I'm good. Deep down inside, it's not easy. It's not
it's
easy at
not.
all.
It's not. Someone asked on the and yeah, you guys, when y'all hear a good point, go ahead and hit them thumbs up and hit them hearts. Let me see them hearts come through on the TikTok side. Y'all tap on the screen if you hear something that really resonates with you. So check it out. And somebody on both sides asked this question, Sima. So James Bush brought this up a little earlier. He said, does the guest feel there's a challenge when religion promotes a certain form of marriage, traditional, but our current society requires more of a modern effect? What's your thoughts about that from the Christian religion perspective or religious overall?
Absolutely. I think I will use me as an example. I am a Christian. I believe in the blueprint. The blueprint that I know follows more of a traditional setup in regards to the scriptures. But we are living in 2022, and for whatever reason, I'm divorced. I was raised by a single mom. My parents died, both of them, when I was 19. Y'all, I can't help but to be a modern woman.
Mm.
I can't. I mean, I literally had to raise myself at 19. So I'm in conflict with this quite often, particularly when I'm, coaching women who are also Christians. I know what it says, but at the same time, we're just in a new day. I mean, try to put there are modern women who, if we let's say we told them they had to go back to a traditional setup, then they wouldn't be happy. Okay. Then there is some conflict there. I don't know the answer. I think it's on an individual basis, but yes, I agree with you. Very conflicted there.
Yes. Well said. So my thought is just like it can be very challenging, right? But understand this. When you get married to somebody, that relationship is yours.
That's right.
And what you guys can agree upon, that's what goes.
That's what goes.
I don't care what the preacher said. I don't care. I don't care what they said on social media. I don't care what the IG models is doing. I don't care what the what the people on Clubhouse say. Like all these different all these different things sometimes are the actual problem.
Right.
All these voices and opinions on what y'all should do become the actual, all this noise in your relationship. And you start off one way and the next thing you know, since she been watching Steve Harvey, she's starting to think something different. And you're like, well, wait a minute. That's not, we didn't have a relationship where you thought that I should make more money, but you got double master's degrees and I might have a high school diploma, and it takes me 3 jobs. I talked about this, I guess one of the other shows. I know a couple like this. the lady, she manages nurses. She's a nurse trainer. so like she's pretty up there. When they had a meeting, she's involved in the meetings. But meanwhile, her husband works like 3 jobs to try and be the man. He works here and works there, and it's pretty much 3. You could call them almost like menial jobs, but he's a faithful guy. He's a great guy. He's there. He's accountable, and he's doing the best he can. But guess what else he is? He's tired.
He's tired. I was gonna say he's tired.
He's tired. And he's trying to compete. He's trying to hang out and be what his wife would want. But I don't even think she wants that. She probably just wants him. Like, she wants him to make money, but he'll never make he can work. No, he need like 3 more of them jobs in order to catch her.
Bless his heart. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So in that situation, as long as she's okay and he's okay with it, sounds like somebody's not okay. Whether it's her and he feels, like pressured into doing that, or it could be some insecurity that he has and he's doing that to try, like you said, to try to measure it up. I don't know. But the bottom line is, listen, if he's working 3 jobs, when are y'all together?
Right.
When are y'all together?
Right. You become roommates.
Yeah, you become roommates. So there's a conversation.
And if you stay roommates long enough, people start finding other people to spend some time with.
And next thing you know, somebody's filed for divorce. And guess who's going to be? The woman, because she's making more money.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, these things can be fixed if we just take a moment and say, this doesn't make sense. Or, I'm not honoring like you said, this relationship that we have. Forget what everybody, am I honoring this? My wife, I don't care how much money she makes. She wants to spend time with me. That's why she married me.
That's why she's here. That's why she's here.
So it just doesn't make sense to me. But I agree. I used to be one of those like, he need to pay this and he need to pay that. Now I got to the point where it's like, listen, you guys go through couples counseling, find out if you're aligned. If you are aligned and you talk about your money and what your goals are, where you're going, your partners. Okay, babe, this is how we're going to do ours. I'm going to do this and you're going to do this. Then y'all do it. Go out and be great. Just do it.
Yes. Make sure I got all the questions over here.
Lady Chanel said alignment is key. Listen, if I ever have the opportunity to get married again, alignment to me is more important to some daggone money.
What does alignment mean to you?
Alignment to me means that our values, our core values align. We're walking in the same direction. We have similar goals, timelines, the way, I have children. I don't know if he'll have children. What part are you going to play in my children's lives? I'm their mother. They have their dad. All of this, we agree. We are aligned. We are moving together. The Bible says, how can 2 walk together unless they agree? We are aligned together because somebody said, you just said, a lady said, it took me 20 some years to figure out. Honey, 20 some years to figure out that you were not aligned. So to me, alignment is more important to the money. Or we can get the money. If we align, because I know who I am. So, and if he's aligned to me, then he's sharp too. Okay. So together, what? Y'all gonna look at him and say, man, they killed it. Because we were aligned. It wasn't anything about who made more and all of that. Let's just get aligned. We're both spiritually, we're aligned, all of that. It's not going to work if one person is walking in faith and the other person is walking in sight. Well, I just don't see it. Well, I believe God for this.
Yeah.
So you got to be aligned.
Yes. But you know what, Sima, what you just said is what Marvin just said. But it's different. Right? Marvin just said, Alignment to me is living a life in alignment to God's word, right?
He said,
But
God's
to
word.
God's word, right? But look, listen what the problem is, Sima. It's what you just said. Because both of those things that you just said are in God's words. Walk by faith, not by
Not
sight,
by sight.
right? But we also know like faith without works
It's
is
dead.
dead. So so you need faith and works to make that happen. But some people can focus more on the faith, not so much on the works. Somebody
Right.
else could focus all on the works
And have
and
no faith.
not have enough faith.
Well,
So
we know that from in the Bible where it talks about Mary and Martha. One of them was she was very legalistic. She was all about working her way, and Martha had faith. And Mary had faith. So again, you got to be aligned. I used to get upset sometimes. My ex-husband was a minister, so when I would say, "Well, we need to do this," well, I'm just believing God, and I'm like, Lord, I believe God too, but we got to do something.
yeah.
What we're gonna do? Just sit here and let it just flop. See,
Mhm.
and that comes from me being 19 and having to take care of myself
Mhm.
totally, no parents. So in my mind, that you got to put some work with it. Let's get down there and get it done. We gotta bring our. I believe we have to bring our natural part, and He will add His supernatural. So that's what I mean by alignment. We used
Yes.
to have disagreements about that
Yeah.
because yes, we believe God, but because I felt like we need to do something, I was out of the will of God.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So
I
get
do.
your alignment,
You
and
gotta
whether
have that alignment.
it's gotta
Yes.
be, you got to be. Um,
Yes.
Faith is action. Yes, sir. It is. It is. So I think if you guys, some of the ladies that I coach, when I have them kind of talk about what's important to them, oh my gosh, they put things like he got to be 6'2" and he got to this, and I'm like, oh, I just trying to get them to understand, yo, that's not what's going to keep your marriage. I promise you, trust me. You gotta be you need to focus more on character things, as Tony Gaskin says, let his character be his currency, things like that. Do you align? Do you have the same values, core values? How do you feel about your family? Are you close to your family? He's not close to his family. See, I have a small family, and so
Yeah.
he was from a big family. So I had to get used to being in doing things with a big family. It was uncomfortable, but I had to
Yeah.
get used to it. You see what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that's there.
Love
And a
that.
lot of that comes out in couples therapy.
Yes, it
Yes.
does. And,
Hmm.
and as well, like if you're not going to get to couples therapy, right? We have these shows. We have
Yes.
these communities. Get in, like get into these communities of supportive thinking, supportive, emotions. I love the fact that you work with your folks and you have these communities where people can join and just get support. So
Right.
as we come to the end of Sima, and the questions and comment, they still coming. Do you do
Still
comment?
coming. Yes, coming in. Do you complement each other's purpose? Love that. Thank you, Mr. Bush. Love, 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 love. But again, a lot of people don't even know what their purpose is. So you got to find that out.
Yes, yes, yes. So Sima, before we get out of here, tell the folks how they can connect with you, and give us your last word, and then tell us how they can follow you, how to connect with you, whatever you got for them to purchase or join or whatever it is that you got going on. Just lay it on us.
All right, sure. Yes, you can find me on all of social media on Facebook, Sima Whitina Clark, as it is there on the screen. On Instagram, I'm at Coach Sima Whitina. You can find me there. The biggest thing that I have, this is something I started last year. I'm very, very proud about it. Is the Unstoppable You University. We've got about almost 700, almost 750 scholars in there. I
Nice.
call them scholars because we're always learning. There's a lot of free coaching that goes on in there, and there's some paid coaching. For example, I have a 30-day boot camp that's kicking off on May the 9th. Registrations actually started today. But I agree with you that a lot of what what we can do now in 2022 is we can do a lot of healing in community like we're doing right here. So it doesn't have to be a one-on-one. We can do it in community. That's what community is about, which is why I started the Unstoppable You University. You can search that and then request to join. There's a couple questions there and we'll let you right on in. So my last words is just in regards to relationships. We said that 70% up to 80% of women are out here seeking divorce. I'd like to get that number. Let's get that number down. I believe we can do better than that. We can absolutely do better than that, especially in our African-American communities. The thing is, you guys, we got to be a little bit more diligent and intentional on choosing partners. Okay. Yes. And also actively doing our personal work. Mm-hmm. And then aligning with someone else who is also actively doing their personal work. I think we make that a requirement and stop focusing more on the big day, the dress, and all the fanfare that we can decrease that number a little bit. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yes. And they're already requesting an encore conversation on this topic. And I think we need to do more together anyway. I like this. I like this.
I agree.
So you guys, my thought is that, you just got one life.
Yes.
You've got one life. And for most of us, most of it's over. So whether you decide to leave or stay, don't leave you, stay with you. Do the work that you need to do for your life, right? And as you grow your life, as you fill your own emotional cup, nobody else is going to be, you're not going to be looking to anybody else to fill your cup for you. Because your cup is already full because you decided what you needed, right? For some of y'all, you do need therapy. For some of y'all, you just need karate. like you need to go take Tai Chi, for yeah, I'm telling you, some people just need somebody need to just go join a choir where they can sing and clap their hands and fill their lives with joy. Right? So that when you meet someone else, or if you got a spouse, right, you are not requiring them to do the heavy work for you.
Right. That's right.
Because you're doing the heavy work for yourself. So what are they coming along to do? Just top it off.
Top it off.
They should just be like whipped cream on top. Shh. Absolutely. And make it a beautiful Sunday that it wouldn't have been otherwise. But it didn't, you don't need whipped cream. It just makes it all better. So your spouse should only just make it all better. So
I love that.
Yes, you guys, look, I need everybody, before we get out of here, tap on that screen on the TikTok side. If y'all appreciate this conversation, send those hearts, send those gifts, send those love on the YouTube side. You guys do the same. Hit that button, hit that like button, hit that love button, hit that share button. Somebody needs to hear this conversation that we had tonight. Thank y'all all so much for being here. If you need a love coach session, you guys can hit me up at lovecoachatlanta@gmail.com. That's how we connect. If you've got a great topic, you can send that in as well. We'll consider it. We got a long list of topics and people to bring on the show, but me and Sima, we're going to do some more together. And I like this connection. And so there's more coming, you guys. Y'all just, if y'all feeling it, let me know that y'all enjoyed this conversation as well.
I got hearts over here.
Yes. Love the hearts coming through. So, all right, y'all. Till next time, peace and love. We'll see y'all next time. Hang out, Sina, for a minute.
Okay, sure.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.
Good night.